Hello, the game has started. It's my opponent that's gone first, and he's opened with a 32-point play, Oxeye, and I'll be looking to respond. Looking at the X here, not seeing a great way of playing onto it. I guess I could play cat here, get rid of the T and the Q, and limit my opponent's ability to score off the X. Okay, duplicate L, not good, but I do draw the Z, so perhaps I'll be able to score some points with that Z. I have Blaze on my rack. And Zell. Blaze doesn't currently play apart from above the E of Oxeye. Looking at Z plays that might end on A, 5-letter plays. Can't see any. I have Zeta as well on the rack, but undoubling the L, I'd say, is one of my priorities at this stage too. I have Lees, which does get the Z tripled. Okay, opponent plays Bow, which takes an X and has also created a hotspot above the U. The X has been played. Looking at 6-letter plays that begin with a T. Not seeing any. Bi takes an A, so I do have Blaze here for 40. And I think I might go with this. Pretty good rack I've drawn. 2 ill yeas through an I, slotting an I in between the Y and the E, I think is good. I have the STY ending and the LY ending. No floaters to really play through on this board apart from the Q, which does actually look quite handy with the U. Quietly just misses the double word square. I do have Y here, U here with a very strong rack leave, creating a K hotspot. Is there an 8-letter play through this Q? Not that I can see. Blaze doesn't take a Y. Okay, opponent scores well with a J and doesn't create any floaters for me to play through. I'm still not seeing a 8-letter play through the Q, so Questily just doesn't look good. Questily, no. I think I'll go with YU because of the strength of the rack. And I do have a T for playing next to the S if I draw into a bingo. Milters, which currently does not play. Mistral. Merliest through an I. Limiters through an I. Termlies through an E, I think. I have no letter for going in front of U, which would be K, A, and P, and R goes in front of U, so no bingo beginning with an R here, I don't think. Will opponent create an opening for me? I guess I have Smile for 30 with a decent rack leave. Okay, opponent has bingoed with autists. Now, do I have a miss word? Mistrals. No, it has to. I think it's with an A. Mistral. Mistrals, yeah. So we've got Merliest or Limiters. $72. What have we got here? Fairly balanced, but not sure if there's a bingo. I have the co prefix. Coal wire. I have the war component of a word. I have swale. And I have scrow for 39, but is there definitely no bingo here? Not seeing one. Scrabble looks okay. A bit vowel heavy, but I do have the K for score, which should enable me to keep scoring. Keda, I think Keda for 26 takes a H at the end. I have cloaked, clears the rack out, 28. The Z has been played, so that spot not as hot as it normally would be. J is also gone. 28 for cloaked. Frustrates the R as a floater, as well as these lanes above and below Merliest. Kidder, I quite like the score and rack leave. Well, rack leave's not fantastic, but the score 26. Just looking at 6-letter plays ending in A. Plays onto the R. Leaker. "22". Aki. Oh. 30. Creates a bingo lane for opponent. Does score quite well. Teak. 28. More balanced as a leave. Opponent taking quite a while with this move. Okay, he's given me something to think about here. A CK ending word. Not seeing a 5 ending in CK. Oh, actually, Alec. Alec, I think, is good for 42. Yeah. That's not a bad pickup. Trendoid onto a D. Duration through an A. Trinode. Nodal. Inter, I have the inter prefix. Intorted. The G. I have the oid ending, so I have discussed trendoid. Does the N assist? I have the non-prefix. Let me focus on the I for a while. So I have the oid, retinoid. Yes, that works. And it's not a bad placement either. Retinoid. Not seeing anything from the W or the O, so I'll go with this. One last look at the rack, because I didn't contemplate bingo beginning with an O. I don't think there's a 7 here beginning with an O. No, not seeing it. Retinoid for 70. Not a bad pickup. Pardine is the one that jumps out as a 7. That currently does play above the I of retinoid. Paranoid, not quite. Does the O help? Pindari onto an E. Just looking, that O really looks useful with this set of tiles. Dipteran through a T. The F, not quite profaned. Okay, I'm going with Pardine, unless I can see something through this R. Yeah, Pardine it is for 80. Okay, this is a trickier rack to resolve, but I've had a few good ones, so I can't complain. I can take this hotspot out with over, and that undoubles the O's and the A's. So quite keen on this play as the board currently stands. Fora scores well, 30 points. Far 22. Favor. I have favor on my rack, but no spot currently to play that. 19, keeping the F back. 13 tiles remain, including a blank. Okay, opponent has given me something to think about here. I have foo. 34 doesn't empty the bag. And yeah, I think I'll go with this just to keep that buffer. So even if opponent does bingo, I'll be able to survive it. Oh, I was just about to say I have caviar. Opponent does bingo. Opponent has 6 tiles left, so I should be safe here to outrun him. I don't think I have a bingo here. Waiver. Pair. 27. Preve. 32. And I can go out with AIA, or can I? Yes, I can, alongside colognes. Yeah, this seems best for 15. And that's the end of the game. Thank my opponent, and let's see what we missed. 463 to 389. Back to the beginning, and opponent opened with Oxeye, which was best. Nice find. Talak. How did I miss Talak at 9F? Ah, Talak. No excuse for that. That's one I really should have spotted. I went with Cat. And then Bow for 22 was opponent's, and that seems best. Blaze was best for 40 here. Jess for 29 with a great rack leave was opponent's best. Or Jesus with an extra 4 points in the same leave. So but that's using the blank, is it? No, it's playing through the U, of course. So Jesus would have been best there. He went with Jess. No bingo here, but U for 20 with a very strong rack leave. But Yules, look at that. That was huge. 49 points. I didn't even contemplate an underlap. What a beautiful play. Yules for 49. 2/3 of a bingo. Or 3/4 of a bingo score. Anyway, U for 20. Equity scores were 10 difference. So a bit of a miss there. Quittles. Wow, opponent had quittles for 86. Tricky to spot. And not an everyday word, so congrats if you spotted that. Autists is the one opponent went with. Limiters and Merliest were the only two. I went with Merliest. Vifta for 16 or Vast for 21. So opponent a little bit stuck there for vowels. Scowl or Scrow. Yep, similar. I suppose Scowl may be better, but looking at the pool, there were 4 R's to come and just 1 L. So I prefer getting rid of the R in this instance, which I did. And then Chimb for 28. Muskid for 33 at H10. Ah, look at that. H. Where's H? Muskid. Oh, Muskid down through the S. Okay. That sorted out some of his heavier weights for 33, but Chimb pretty good as well for 28. Alec for 42 was best here. Then Fusing for 30. Opponent had 5 extra points for Feud at D1 through this E. That's quite a nice play. And then Centroid for 76 and Indentor. Indentor, that's one I have seen. Centroid as well, but Retinoid was the one that stuck out. So Centroid would have been nice because it would have got the D doubled. Yep. Anyway, bingoed there with Retinoid. Dingoing. Opponent had with what looked like an unpromising rack. Dingoing through the N of Fusing. Nice. He went with G. And Pardine the only bingo for 80. Dodo for 25. Just plays in the mid to late 20s there. So opponent went with Dido, which gave me Foo for 34. Look at that. Conglobe. Colognes. Colognes was opponent's play, but Conglobe. Wow. I think N-Globe is good as well. E-N, but Conglobe. Very nice. And I then had... I played Pre for 32, but VIA for 42 at 4L. Ah, look at that. Beautiful. VIAE. Gee, that was a hot spot which I really should have at least looked at. But I'm surprised I didn't. I was so fixated on this spot here and thought, well, nothing's going to score as much as that. Getting one of my heavier tiles tripled and then the whole word doubled. But look at that. VIA for 42. Just shows it's worth looking around the board a little bit more, especially if you've got some time, which I did have, so no point to rush. Wen for 43, opponent's best, and then Aya for 15 to go out. And that was the end of the game. So pretty good game, 1 or 2 misses. VIA is something at this level of Scrabble you should really not be missing, because all those 4-letter words are no backwards. But yeah, it's look around the board, identify a good strong candidate play, and then look around the board again and see if you can improve upon that one, I guess. Been playing for many, many years, and I still seem to get stuck in that impulsive mode of anything over 30 or 32. You kind of just jump on it, even especially when you know the game's won. So it's just good practice and habit forming exercise to take a moment and look for the best, most winning play available. Anyway, hope you enjoyed watching that game, and I will see you next time.